Hello everyone, Mr. Hissner here, and today we're going to continue on with parallelograms, and now we're going to throw in a little bit of algebra in the mix, a little bit of spice to the spice pie. Now, I do think that you'll find that this is not that bad. However, if again, like I said last time in the last video, if you can't remember how to do geometry, this is going to be tough. But also a great opportunity to remember, or maybe even learn for the first time. Heck, it's only been 5 months, right? Maybe you can learn for the first time how to do geometry. Hopefully that's not the case, but if it is, an excellent opportunity. So for here, what do we want to find? These are all super easy. Just using the properties of parallelograms, opposite sides are congruent, and that means that their measures are the same. So for here, all we really need to do is set up this equation. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to balance this equation. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. That will balance this side, and then I'm going to balance this equation. And so that will subtract from this side, and so I will have 32 is equal to 8x, then divide both sides by 8, and we find that x is equal to 4. But notice we wanted to find yz, and so we're just going to take that 4 and plug it back in and get our answer. And so that's just this is nothing new. This is something that we've done for a very long time. So again, a great opportunity to kind of dust that old brain sauce off, kind of get the sand out of your head a little bit. You know, a lot of us have been mentally at least been on the beach for the past couple of weeks. So time to return from your mental vacations and remember how to do geometry. So, but the thing about these, remember our properties is that, you know, this is NS, and that means that on either side these things are congruent, right? But I do think, and I think that you will find that, you know, the most difficult of these problems come about when we have some sort of geometry that we actually are expected to do. And so with this example, we need to use the transversal. And you can see that, okay, this one in here is 4x minus 9, so that means that these are opposite, alternating interior angles, and so these angles are congruent, and thus they have the same measure. So this one down here in the corner, about h, and so we know that these two are going to add together to equal this whole thing, and we have KLH, so KLH, so that is... that's this one over here in blue, so KLH is in blue, and we know that this whole angle over here is 134. And if you notice again, we have a transversal region, right? So we have two parallel lines, and then cut by our transversal, and so we know that we can take these two interior angles and add them together to equal 180 degrees, because these are consecutive interior angles. So these are consecutive interior angles, so we can just simply add them together to equal 180 degrees. I'm going to say this again. Remember, I went on and on about this. I said, guys, if you don't know how to look at a transversal region, if you cannot remember this would be the equivalent of not knowing how to multiply and try to do algebra. It'd be the equivalent of not knowing how to add and subtract and trying to do arithmetic. Like, if you can't identify these properties, you're gonna have a hard time coming up with the answer. Just like if you don't know how to do this, you're gonna have a hard time doing this, right? You're gonna have a hard time solving for x if you don't know how to add two numbers together. If you don't know how to divide, you're never gonna get the answer, even if you do know how to add. So this is what we need to do. You really need to familiarize yourself with those four transversal properties, because that's what's going to make these problems difficult. So thanks for watching.